Hi, I'm Phil Evans. I'm the Community Park Ranger for Pūriri Regional Park. So Pūriri is about 31 or 32 kilometres north of Pūriri Hot Pools, heading north, so up the South Head Peninsula. Almost as far as you can drive northwest of Auckland. Pūriri was named after the Puriri tree, especially the old remnant trees that do still remain in the park. The most obvious feature is the Kaipara Harbour. It's hard to miss. It's pretty big. Access to the coast here on the Kaipara Harbour is very limited, so I think by council purchasing this, it's going to give access for the people of Auckland to the harbour. Pūriri Regional Park will comprise of 3 different properties. The original Pūriri piece is the one that's currently open, but north of here we've brought the McClouds dairy farm, and north of that again the council's also purchased an old prawn farm. So they all are adjoining, so at some point in the future we will look at opening the McCloud and the prawn farm pieces. So we're just out from the car park. The car park's right there. Here we've got our southern boundary, which runs just down this hill and runs up towards those pine trees on top of the hill there. And then we run across to the old boundary, which is now the common boundary with the McCloud property on the next little hill there. So my job here as the community ranger is I take care of all the farming. So doing everything day to day, checking animals, checking water, moving them from paddock to paddock, but also a lot of infrastructure needs to be replaced, fencing particularly, making the 3 properties safe for the public to come and enjoy every day. So Auckland Council farms our regional parks to maintain open space for the people to come and recreate in. We use the sheep and the cattle as our lawnmowers, and we can just take care of the animals and they do it for us. So you will be walking through both sheep and cattle. They're all quite friendly. The cattle are quite inquisitive and they will follow you. We've had a number of incidents where people think they've been chased, but no, the cows are just following them along. So just keep on walking and they'll leave you alone. Part of the history of Pūriri Regional Park is that the Smeatons used to farm deer here. We are slowly removing the deer fencing and replacing it with sheep and people-friendly conventional fences, just for aesthetics really. You're walking through, you not feel like you're in prison, and drop the fence lines off the ridge lines and things. Just behind us here is the old boundary for the regional park. This, what you can see here now, is the recently purchased McCloud piece, and then just a little bit further in the distance is the prawn farm. So hopefully one day in the future we'll have access ways and things, walking tracks and bridle paths through here. So yeah, the 3 properties were used in different ways in farming different types of animals and things. Next door at the McClouds we had Cedric and his family dairy farming. And then over the hill to the Smeatons were farming deer, and then us bringing in the sheep and the beef. Behind us we've got a par site. We've got a number of par sites here, including quite a few at McClouds also. But yeah, it's quite an exceptional example of a par site. Here at South Head we do miss a lot of the rain that the mainland gets over the far end there. The Kaipara Harbour is forever changing. It is a very moody harbour. Even from morning to night time it changes with the light and everything like that. At high tide it looks wonderful, the water doesn't get very deep and the tide can come in quite fast. So bird watching is probably your best recreation activity, I guess. We've got godwits and a few other things, pied stilts and oyster catchers and herons and all sorts of cool other birds. So we're standing at the most northern part of Waipiro Bay. If you look down towards where we were before, that's the Pūriri main beach as we access the coast from that side. We're currently standing at what we call the McClouds beach. About halfway between Pūriri Regional Park, the original piece, and the prawn farm to the north of us. This is the most northern part of what will be Pūriri Regional Park. This section here is not yet open to the public. So there's 5 hectares of ponds. There was a prawn brought over from China, I understand, and they attempted to farm it here. Yeah, the big flat area at the front was part of the prawn farm. They had a whole heap of like para style pools, you know, external frame pools, and that was part of the hatchery process and the different life cycles of the prawn. Yeah, I understand before I arrived there was a fishing club based in a little shanty shed that was on the foreshore, and I understand that's where they came in and they weighed their marlin from out the entrance to the harbour. One thing special about Pūriri Regional Park is the fact that everywhere you go it's a different feeling place. It doesn't all feel the same, you know, each little sector feels like a different world almost. Just the fact of the regeneration kānuka and manuka, as well as all the wetlands and things like that, it's quite a special place.